Amazon warns that PS5 pre-order customers that consoles might arrive after launch.
Okay.
That's not good.
Whatever. I'll get a digital. The console will be digital too. I'll just download my console.
I like to purchase the digital version.
Where do I download it?
Where do I download the digital version?
This is a digital edition.
Yeah, do I just log on to Amazon and download it? Where's my code?
Yeah, I can install it to my phone, right?
Yeah.
Man, I always wanted to play PS5 games on my phone.
Are you going to mail me the controller?
I feel like Sony should just step up and be like, yeah, so like everyone screwed up royally. We're canceling all pre-orders. None of them.
That will cause a riot.
Yeah, and I'd be okay with it.
We don't
Because
want
they're
a
not
riot.
canceling my pre-order.
Yeah, they are.
No, I didn't get
If
one.
they cancel all yeah.
Oh, no, I mean just cancel all of them and then do it correctly.
As they're not going to do it correctly.
Did you guys?
Oh, I know, but we can try again, and if
So,
it doesn't work,
You
cancel
remember
again.
you remember with the first PS5 event where they showed that game that was like a Bioshock in space?
Yeah.
That game looks so cool.
What? Bioshock is big.
Yeah.
There's some like astronaut dude.
Tokyo
and-
Ghostwire?
Like,
No, that's a different.
No. There's like this astronaut. He's got like faceplate. You don't see.
Oh!
like, his face.
Yeah.
I
And
do know what you're talking
the
about.
little girl walking with
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
And then he just
yeah.
gets sucked into space. And
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my god.
I remember seeing that.
It looks like there's not even gameplay in that, and it looks so cool.
Yeah.
Did it say who was making it?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
It was some Japan studio.
I don't
I don't remember, but I think they're hoping it to be a new IP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it looks. Oh my goodness.
It looks
so much like
crazy.
Bioshock.
Mm-hmm. I'm just, like I said, after seeing that Final Fantasy 16 trailer.
So was that in the state of play that they just
Yeah.
did when they announced all the PS? I didn't watch it. How much did they really announce other than PS5?
They talked
price and
about
release
Resident
date?
Evil 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
They talked about Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
They oh man, there was something else on there.
Is it more like a straightforward JRPG, like 7 or something? Kind
It's
of thing,
still
or-
action combat, but they're going back to the old kind of stories
Okay.
Yeah.
instead of this new age stuff.
And it's kind
So
of
it's more medieval.
I think so, yeah.
It's a lot more
It's darker too.
darker.
Literally, there's a scene in the trailer where blood gets splattered across the kid's face.
Good. I love.
Not like
that.
a large amount of blood, but like
Right.
Good. I like that.
some drops.
Oh, not like Dragon Guard where
Yeah.
like blood just literally stains
Yeah.
his character
Yeah.
red.
Yeah, like Dragon Guard's just so crazy. It's
Yeah.
like someone just they die and then it's like let me like soak up all the papers in front of your desk with my blood.
How long are those games? Because I'm.
Dragon Guard, they're not as long as Nier, but they're
You can blaze through them pretty fast.
yeah.
Okay.
I will.
If you're looking to get all the endings and know the story, it will take a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have to, I think in all of them, even in the first Nier, you have to have every weapon in the game to get to the
Yeah.
final ending.
And some of the older ones, there are very super specific things you need to do.
Exactly.
Uh,
Oh yeah. The older ones, you have to go to you have to go back to specific points, and then you have to basically do something different to make the game branch off.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably never gonna actually get to those.
Yeah, you're
but
not.
I think I'm gonna try I'm gonna look on eBay after a while and see how much Dragon Guard 1 and 2 are, because I want to play.
Good
them.
luck, because there weren't a whole lot of copies in their
Yeah.
PS2.
Yeah. So,
can you play them anywhere else, like digitally, PS3
I
or
mean,
anything, or
you'd have to use an emulator.
Yeah.
You
you
can't.
can't
There's
just
no.
emulate them?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
you got a
with your
computer to emulate them.
PC, you can emulate it and upscale it too. Make it really nice.
play an upscaled 4K.
Yeah, I mean, you
You
can.
can.
Some of the upscale stuff people do with emulators are insane.
Right.
Yeah, AI upscaling has come a long way. People are like doing. I've seen several videos now where people like take like hand drawn animation or
Yeah.
like
Well, it's just like even
like things on twos, and they use like AI to like do all the in betweens, and it's like the way it smooths it out. It's like holy crap.
they do
that's
things
so
like
good.
so even with just like the basic settings, you can upscale the resolution like 4K, and then you can get all the way up to like 128 times interstopic filtering, so everything's like super smoothed out. And you're just like, this isn't possible. Yeah, what the hell is this?
Yeah, what is that?
That's the Somnium Files.
Oh.
Did you actually beat that game?
Oh, dude, I played on that game.
How long was that? Because I heard that was really good. To be fair, I only heard it was really good from you.
It's like, if
so
I'm
it's
not
not saying much.
mistaken, it was like 30 hours.
That's not bad.
To, like,
Is this like the new design thing in Japan? Because that's like Triggers thing with the lights.
oh,
turning into,
you're
like,
talking about like the light.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like it looks very code vein.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, I mean, that's like Triggers trademark now.
Yeah, they're like star.
so
kind of,
Trigger's
like,
trademark
kind
now
of-
is that border character line
Yeah.
are colors. They're
Yeah.
not black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like with Pro.
Trigger's
Yeah.
trademark is just making great content, actually. That's what their thing is. They just
Pro-
make great stuff.
Promare was also very like they just used they didn't use like a lot of like shading effects to the characters. They used like okay, their base hair is blue and then they got like light blue highlights.
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And like but the light blue highlights kind of stay in position when
Yeah.
they move and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I love Promare. I need to sit down and watch that. I have it on DVD so I can do
2
it
out of
anytime.
2 out of 10.
Worst thing I've ever seen.
Worst thing I've ever seen.
It's literally
I hated it.
That was probably the best, one of the best
I
parts
love
of
that.
Article
I love
video. So what'd you think of it? 2 out of 10. Worst thing I've ever seen. I thought it was okay.
I thought it was okay.
awkward pause.
Yeah.
Well, guys, welcome to BakaTaka. Another
We're
episode of the podcast.
We're deep into it.
We're
already.
yeah. I mean, this is the intro. We can
Yeah.
move it if we need to, but I feel like some of the stuff we've already talked about should just be included. To be
Yeah.
honest, this is. I don't know. I don't think it was important enough to make it one of the before the podcast podcasts.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's
it'll
fine.
probably be Chase will just cut it out.
yeah, we'll let Chase do whatever.
Yeah.
As always, on the left, I'm George. In the middle, we have.
I'm here this week. It's Eric.
It is.
Hey.
We haven't had to replace him with Jeff. Though Jeff sat. So Jeff sat on
I
the
heard
other
about
side
that.
of the
I heard about
table
that.
because
And-
we made him the audience.
And Chase is awkward, like, but that's where the audience sits.
And then on the right we have,
Chase, that's me.
as always, Sal.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened recently.
Not
Mostly
really.
PS5 is Sony has botched the PS5 pre-orders.
Yeah.
Xbox. So obviously you guys heard the Xbox stuff. The Xbox Series X price leak. I use air
It's
quotes
not a leak.
because it's not a leak,
Nothing's
but it
a leak
leaked.
anymore.
And then the Xbox Series S was just straight up. They told everyone
well,
about it.
yeah, they came out and confirmed
So,
them after
They
the
they
leak.
did.
Yeah.
But so what do you guys think about that? Do you think Xbox actually tried to force Sony's hand there to change their pricing model or what?
I think they were trying to gauge what the other one was going to do.
That's
But
true.
I think they had a set price in mind. They probably just wanted to see who was going to break first.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So the way I kind of looked at it, and I've heard it explained, I actually watched a video from Atrioc, if you're familiar with him. He's a Twitch
No.
streamer. I think he works for NVIDIA, actually. He does marketing and stuff, and he kind of explained a little bit about the pricing stuff. And I think his insight was kind of interesting, but he mentioned more based on the companies themselves and was like, look how much money Microsoft is worth, and look how much money Sony is worth.
Yeah.
If you literally just like if Microsoft just added all of Sony's value to Microsoft, they just, oh look, you have this much money, we're just going to add that to our worth, that wouldn't even be a 10% increase.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much money Microsoft has. So he was kind of looking at it like that and saying, people always look at it as like a console war, which one's gonna win.
Yeah.
But it's not, they're not really competing.
No, they don't at all.
Xbox, but people say they are all the time. It's not a console war. Xbox is just saying, hey, we need to stop screwing up. We need to get ourselves in people's house. They're not making money off of these systems.
Mhm.
They make money off of their Game Pass, all the cloud stuff. They say if we can get into people's houses and then we can sell them everything else, we just want that market share. We just want to be a part of this. And they have so much money, they can do whatever they want to be
Yeah.
a part of that piece of pie. But they have to get there first, which is why their pricing is so aggressive for
Yeah.
the hardware they're actually selling, which is really good. The problem for me is there's no exclusives really on Xbox that I want to play.
Yeah.
I just don't care about it.
Another thing with the marketing too, Sony's big thing also isn't just the PlayStation.
Exactly.
They're all electronics.
Exactly.
They span all electronics.
Absolutely.
The PS5 is just a small part of their income.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo's just over here doing whatever they want to do.
they're-
Nobody even
They're rolling in
knows.
Mario money.
I love
Yes.
Nintendo, but man, what are they doing?
They're rolling in Mario money. That's all they're doing.
They've been rolling in Mario money for like decades.
Yeah, and they're rolling some more with 3
They're-
All-Stars.
They're just like they've just decided to like keep. They're rolling in the previous Mario money they had, And now they're just making another pile. So eventually, when they're like, this pile's kind of dirty, we're gonna actually spend this money now. We're gonna sleep in this pile of money.
Yeah.
They're just gonna move over.
pile
I
of money.
love it.
Well, yeah, that's the console war at the moment. Because
Yeah.
there's always PC in the mix too, and they had the new Nvidia announcements for their video cards.
So the Switch came out in
absolutely
2017. Is that right?
Yes.
Man,
So
what a year!
Beginning of 2017.
Right. So it's
like
like
March, I think.
yeah,
actually.
right. What a year! Yeah, it took a second.
What a year!
But it's like that's kind of like in the middle of like the PS5 and the PS4. You know, those two generations.
Yeah.
A little bit because it's 3 years in between both of them.
Well, I think
At the same time, because obviously Nintendo doesn't do a whole lot of like iterations on their systems.
Yeah.
Not
they
like
only did one, which was the Lite.
exactly,
Yeah.
not like but even that it's
Well, it's
not
just
necessarily
they
like
don't-
an iteration. It's almost a different system, which
well,
to
they
me
also don't
still is
announce
kinda weird.
their major hardware upgrades like Sony and Microsoft do.
that's true.
Because they'll come out with like, check out this new Elite Pro model line, and Nintendo would just be like, hey, here's a Switch, and then like 3 years later they'd be like, hey, here's a Switch, but you might know we've upgraded the processor in it.
yeah. So when did Sony release the Slim or the Pro, and Xbox release the
Let's
Xbox
see.
One
I
S
would
or
have
X?
to say
Was it 2017 as well?
2017 or 2018?
Yeah. So those kind of line up, but at the same time, Nintendo, for if you follow console generations, that console generation PS4, Xbox One,
Yeah.
also the same generation as the Wii U.
Yeah.
The Wii U and the Switch are in the same generation.
Yeah.
If people are thinking the Switch is technically going to be part of this upcoming generation Series X,
It's already outdated.
it's not even part of that generation if people wanted to look at
I
it
think
that way.
Nintendo has stopped caring about the console war,
Yeah.
and they just kind of keep doing their.
Yeah.
I think
They
they
know what
found
sells.
they found success in the Switch, and I think they're just going to keep it that model. now.
Yeah, the Switch is really nice.
Yeah.
I like kind of just picking it up and taking the Joy-Cons off and putting them back on.
Yeah.
You know, I can find myself just messing with it like a fidget cube.
Yeah.
At least.
It's great.
So,
And I mean, it's just like gaming on the move.
Yeah.
And just taking it to a friend's house, or just
Yeah.
like you're on a car trip.
I-
It's just convenient.
Yeah, I literally I have a case where I keep all my physical games
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And since I keep them in the case, when I go somewhere and I put the thing in the case, so it's like, oh,
They're
I
already
already have
there.
the games
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, so
Which is just really what puzzles me. Why would they release the Lite when the original version literally already does it? I get it's cheaper,
Yeah.
and I think that's
So,
really the only
it's
reason.
a 2DS thing.
Yeah.
But
They're
it's
trying
like-
to build something that's safer for kids to not break.
But
because
is it
kids-
actually more durable?
Well, see, there's no Joy-Cons to snap off.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's true, but
Is
those
it
are pretty
slimmer
sturdy.
at all?
It's smaller.
Yeah,
it
it's
is smaller.
It's got a weaker screen, if I'm not mistaken.
I think
so.
It's similar to
But
like
it's-
I guess
the Vita Lite.
It's just
or
like they
whatever.
were just like, let's take the best of both worlds. Let's give you the home, let's give you the handheld, just smash them into one. And then they were like, yes, we've got both markets, but also
Mhm.
let's get handheld again,
I mean, it's
but
just,
cheaper this time, so
it's
we make
just-
less money.
I think it's just
Yeah.
what Nintendo, because they did the whole.
Such
We
an
got the Game
interesting
Boy
plan.
Advance, we got the Game Boy Advance SP,
True.
we got the Game Boy Advance Micro.
Yeah.
We got
The Micro did not.
no, it
sell
didn't sell
very
well.
well. at
I
all.
think I only ever saw one
I've seen one in
that
person.
a
Yeah.
girl in my high school ordered from Hawaii.
the Micro.
Why from
Yeah.
Hawaii?
Oh,
I think she could only find one on eBay from somebody else. selling it
That's
from Hawaii.
amazing.
Me and Chris had like a Micro,
Okay.
but we got them like a bit after, and
Mm-hmm.
I think we paid like $80 for them.
Yeah.
or something like that.
She held it up to her waist. She's like, it looks like a belt buckle. It's like, I was like,
You're a
I mean,
dice.
yeah, it's really like
really small.
like when you're
Yeah.
holding it and you're like looking at it, it's like, yeah, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's not really
I think
it,
part
it
of
looks
it,
like a Nintendo controller, like a
Yeah,
classic
yeah,
NES
yeah.
controller.
I think
with
that
a
was part of
screen
it.
in the
Yeah.
center.
Yeah.
I think one of them, because one of the things they tried to focus on with the Micro was they tried to focus more heavily on the editions, like the limited edition styles and stuff,
Yeah.
because there were a ton of different colors
Yeah, the
and
face plates.
faceplates
Yeah.
and things.
Which is like nobody cared about that at the
But
time.
so from what I understand, that's a fairly big thing over in Japan,
Yeah.
and it's not, especially at the time, it wasn't a very big thing here. And I
Yeah.
think they were trying to make it more of a thing here, and that was such a cheap price point that in a
Yeah.
way it kind of made sense, because now those special editions, people do that all the time. I mean, you even get like several $100 home consoles that have
Yeah.
special. I have one. I got the Death
The
Stranding
Death Stranding
PS4
one.
Pro.
Looks
and
really cool.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
But like,
But like yeah, like
that
it,
was
like you were saying,
what, $60?
I mean, I have the 20th anniversary Pokemon 3DS.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
It's a much bigger thing now, and
Yeah.
I think even if the micro was a failure, it certainly did something to aid that in happening.
Also,
Yeah.
like what you were saying, Japan, their handhelds are their top selling things.
Yeah.
So in comparison
They're
to for
always
us,
playing on the
it's,
go.
it's definitely the
It probably-
consoles now.
Yep.
Light probably sold a lot better over there too.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure.
Because they commute everywhere.
Yeah,
because
like,
the
Walking to
Vita,
school, bullet trains,
Mhm.
everything.
the Vita wasn't dead over there. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't super popular like the PSP was, but it wasn't dead.
Yeah.
By any means.
Is it dead now over there, or is it still going?
Yeah, they still get like a lot. There's like a lot of visual novels that come out.
That makes sense.
There's still stuff that comes out on the Vita.
Hmm.
Very rarely, you know, they
Does it
Yeah.
come over here?
yeah,
Not really.
very rarely and stuff. But yeah, they still like they'll still get like visual novels on
Okay.
there and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
At this point, Sony said we're not updating or doing anything with the Vita anymore. If anything happens on it now, it's pretty much your own development,
Yeah.
putting something out for it. Like, we're not going to help you at all.
It is cool to see how culture affects that kind of stuff so much, because you would think, oh, it's just a game system. It's the same over there as it is over here, but no, the culture dictates how things
Mhm.
like that work.
yeah.
I mean,
So
Nintendo made their switch because phone games are so massive in Japan too, and they were trying to get
Yeah,
in on that
yeah.
market because
They like
everybody
it.
had some sort of phone game that they played.
yeah,
Which is why they put Mario, Fire Emblem, Pokemon,
Yeah,
all of them on
So-
top of there.
cashing in on
Yeah, man.
mobile gaming.
gotta get the mobile gaming.
Let's stare him down.
Yeah, you got a phone call.
Yeah, from my mom. Leave me alone.
Oh.
I didn't answer. I said I
Nice.
can't talk right now. What's up? I'm busy, mom. Doing BakaTaka.
Yeah.
You guys watch anything recently?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I watched all of Nier Automata.
Wow.
I watched all of it.
Wow.
But let's talk about anime, because we haven't talked about anime in forever.
Wow.
I got one anime thing and one non-anime thing that
Hit
is
me.
kind of super weeb,
Hit
but
me.
not anime.
Okay, I'm
Hit
fine with
me.
that. Let's run through
Yeah.
them.
So
Hit me.
I watched God of High School, the first 7 episodes.
Yeah.
So I knew a little bit of God of High School going into it because back in the day, people were always ranting and raving about it, and I browsed through the webtoon a bit. But the first 7 episodes, pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Apparently, the first 7 episodes or around that's like the opening intro because it's literally just a local tournament in Seoul.
Yeah.
And after
Yeah.
that, they go to the big tournament and for all of South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just nonstop fighting. They pull a little BS through it. There's like the whole what's her face going into the big tournaments. The female character.
The female lead.
Yeah, she gets to go to the tournament because they pulled some BS and like they got to do it in teams now of 3. all that.
So she
Conveniently she gets to
Yeah,
go after
gotcha.
losing. So, but I mean it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
enjoying it.
Map is doing a real good job with it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will say, first episode, man, why you guys gotta reuse the opening animation in
Yeah.
the first, or
Yeah.
or the other way around? Why you gotta use the first episode animation in the opening?
I always have an issue with it because it always feels like just it just feels like an AMV.
cheap. It feels cheap.
Cheap AMV.
It's cheap. Yeah, it
because
feels cheap.
the Ancient Magus Bride did the same thing for season.
They did,
the-
yeah, season
the
1.
second, yeah.
Season 2, they did like a quick cut scene
Yeah.
where they would like dash.
Yeah,
and then,
but they
then it would
they
go back.
reused a lot for their OPs. That was
Yeah.
my biggest gripe with that show. But that's not this show.
That's not
The
this
God of High School, it is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying all these Korean webtoons that are getting animated.
It's good.
It's a good market
thing.
to get into.
Yeah, because you know it hasn't been like really touched at all. So it's like now they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they already know what all the popular stuff.
Because we
is, so it's
talked
like,
about it one episode
Yeah.
where it's smart of Crunchyroll to get into this market
Yeah.
that nobody else has gone into. Because a lot of Korean webtoons are basically they're manga, right?
Yeah.
But they're done differently.
Yes.
So Korean webtoons spend a lot of it's done in like color too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they spend way more time on art. So
making sure it looks
yeah,
good.
there's a lot less
Yeah.
panels, but there's a lot more art to it.
Right.
Everything's done in color. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of movement.
So is that a thing with the webtoons? Like they're always in color, generally speaking?
Not all of them, but
But
a
a lot more
lot of
than
time
manga.
they have a lot more color than manga. Because manga, like every once in a while, they'll get like a color page or a
Yeah,
color front page.
that's like
Yeah, an illustrated.
yeah,
page,
but
yeah.
webtoons and manhwas they get a lot of color.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. I didn't realize that was like a distinct difference between the two.
So it's just like with just how they stylize everything. You get more story out of manga, but you get more art and stuff out of manhwa.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, what's the other thing that you were watching?
So it's
the
not what
weeby
I'm
thing.
watching. So
That you watched.
I started reading a lot of. I've been reading
Oh.
books
Oh.
because I've had a lot of time going between cars and stuff.
Fair enough.
So Amazon through the Kindle app suggested me an author, Ryan Kirk. Does a lot of weeby stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been reading this book called Nightblade. Oh my god, there's a lot of weeb stuff. This is like the perfect dark edge book.
Really?
So all the characters have Japanese names.
Oh yeah.
So there's like there's
so you
Ryu,
know it's good.
yeah, there's Ryu, there's oh my goodness, there's Takako.
There's Ken.
Does it
there's-
take place in Japan?
No, it does not take place in Japan.
I was just about to say, it was like,
But there's a lot of Japanese stuff.
oh look,
like
Pennsylvania.
we move it's a lot of stuff he takes from like anime tropes.
Mm.
Like there's like evil bad, dark stuff. We gotta power up, we gotta train,
Okay.
lose my family kind of thing. A lot of Japanese names. But like it doesn't take place in Japan. Like there's 3 kingdoms and all this. And he's explaining the backstory of everything.
I love it.
Like the main character is like a 5-year-old who just lost his parents to bandits.
What?
And he's being trained up by a Nightblade. And apparently there's Dayblades and Nightblades
Wait a
and all
minute.
this crap kingdoms.
during the book, he is 5 years old.
He is 5 years old.
So it's
currently.
not like he's 5 years old, his parents die, and then it cuts to the future.
No, it's like
Okay.
he's 5 years old right now and he started his training, but he's jumping between the different characters to give their backstory. There's probably be time
Gotcha,
skips at it.
Gotcha.
Because in the prologue, the main character is sneaking through some field and he's like trying to kill this one dude or something's going on.
Nice.
So there's probably time skip, but I'm just saying,
Okay.
I've been reading some stuff and this is super weeby and I love it. So I started reading because the Dune movie got announced.
Oh, I'm so ready for
So
Dune.
I was going to start reading the Dune books, but I didn't want to buy them.
Dune
this
is
book
a long book.
and it's like 9 books.
You only need the first one.
Yeah, but it's like 9 books.
Yes.
But this
Oh.
got suggested to me on Amazon. It was free, and I started reading. I was like, "This Amazon, you know me well."
Oh man.
It gave me something super weeby, and just a couple hours reading. I'm already like 100 pages in. It's really good.
I like listening to that always keeps reminding me of like, you should try Audible. You should try Audible.
I just read a book.
Well, I'm never gonna read a book.
I can't read.
I can't.
Well, I mean, I don't.
But if someone reads to me,
I never really been one for reading because I was never into light novels. As much as I wanted to get into light novels, I was so used to manga, like pictures.
Yeah.
This is easy to understand.
even visual novels are a little hard sometimes.
Yeah, but like starting to read this book, it's not hard to imagine. It's really
No. Yeah,
it's really easy to get into.
Yeah, I don't
Nice.
read a lot, but I have read books before, and it's one of those things. It is kind of cool just to like have that mental picture of like what's being explained.
Yeah.
Because books can communicate that stuff really
Yeah.
well. But then I get to the point where I'm like, I could sit down and read a book,
Mm-hmm.
but like I was saying, I just played Nier Automata. Like,
Yeah,
holy crap!
right,
Like
right.
this story is amazing.
yeah,
And someone could just write that into a book.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and
There's
I
a
mean, they
difference.
have actually.
There's
there
a
are
difference
books
between
from that, but-
imagining something and like literally being an active
having
Exactly.
visual
into something.
stimulus versus
And-
like just using your own imagination.
And on top of that, when you read a book, there is a shared experience between you and other people who have read the book,
Right.
Because you get it's the same material, but your understanding of how things play out and characters'
Can be
perspective
different.
yeah,
are different. And with something like a video game or a movie, you're seeing the exact same thing. There's still obviously people take away different things and like different actions that
Right.
characters
Yeah.
take and stuff, but that kind of camaraderie of seeing the same thing and like being able to share and enjoy that,
Mhm.
I feel like it's easier for people to communicate between different mediums than it is for books because the experience is more similar overall.
Yeah, I think it's also easier to explain what happens in a book to other people about your
Yeah.
experience because you're sitting there imagining it
Mhm.
and you're soaking in a lot of information that they're giving you. So it's easy to regurgitate it
Yeah.
to say this is how I thought about seeing it. But like for a video game, it's just like I played it. I was like, I remember something happening here,
Yep.
and I kind of did something to get through it.
Yeah,
Right.
We
But I
had that
don't-
problem earlier today.
Yeah, but I don't remember like
what it was.
I don't know how to explain it back to you
exactly.
because I saw it, but I didn't like stash
Internalize it. Yeah.
Right.
And with a book, it's also those things that you don't find as important because it is more, I guess I would say, subjective to
Yeah.
how you interpret the story and how you understand it. If you tell someone that and you relay a story to them, you're going to relay them the parts that mattered.
Ports.
The parts.
The
parts.
The ports.
I clearly said parts. I
The
did.
ports.
You can check the tapes. I clearly
Port
said
the
parts.
starboard.
You'll relay the parts that had more impact to
Yeah.
you because that's the story you experience.
Yeah.
You don't get that luxury with a movie or a video
Yeah.
game. To an extent, yes,
extent,
but like
yeah.
for a 2-hour movie,
Yeah.
what parts are you going to leave out? The only parts that are in a 2-hour movie are the parts that matter.
Yeah.
They don't just put filler material in a movie.
Right.
A good movie doesn't. You just can't really
Even
do
with
that.
even with like although if you go to my my anime list, I have a decent amount of manga on there. It's like 100 plus or so completed. Probably 90% of those I can't recall what
Yeah.
happened to most of them because it's just pictures I blazed through.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And it was hard to soak in because it's just I wasn't imagining it myself. It was
That's-
just put in front of me. And I was just
when-
like, "Hey, this looks cool."
When I was
That-
reading the Full Metal Alchemist manga, I was just picturing Brotherhood the entire time
Yeah.
because I was just like, "Yep, same scene, same scene, same scene."
Yeah.
And I was half reading it
Yeah.
at a point because I was just
Well,
like
it's just
the
like-
same exact thing.
Some of the stuff like I loved in like Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. Loved it. Can't really tell you much what happened in there.
Right.
But I mean, I loved it.
I'm really excited because I think that one's getting
Yeah, it's getting
animated.
animated soon.
You
Yeah.
Like-
said Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's really good.
Isn't it like similar to Slime, like style wise?
No,
Is it like Devil is a
no.
part-time?
No, it's basically some crazy crap's going on in the world, and the girl is kind of like mental. You find out,
Oh.
and you don't know.
Right,
It's
right.
it's kind of like some what's the dude Paprika?
Satoshi Kon.
Yeah, Hitoshi. It's some psychedelic stuff like that.
I really need to watch
Cool.
Paprika. Oh,
Yeah,
I want
man.
to see it.
You gotta watch like all this
And
stuff.
Perfect
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah, all of his stuff is really good.
Oh, man.
Shonen Bat
Shonen Bat from
Tatami
Paranoia
Galaxy.
or
Agent.
Paranoia Agent. Yeah.
So that's Miyuki Yuasa.
yeah.
I thought Tatami Galaxy was the same guy who did Paprika.
No.
Different guy?
He
Oh,
was dead
he's-
by the time that happened.
Tatami Galaxy, that guy, he's the same guy who did.
yeah, Yuasa, Devil May Cry Baby, Japan Sinks
Did he do
2020.
Millennium?
Yes.
Did he do Millennium Girl?
Okay.
Who? What?
Millennium Girl?
Millennium Actress?
Yeah.
Yeah, Satoshi Kon did
Okay.
Millennium Actress.
Okay.
And
There's
then
a lot of movies in
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Yuasa did the Nighty Short Walk On Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but to go back to
Yeah,
little offbeat.
That's cool.
It's just I was reading books. I got more time now, and this is super weeby. It's really good. I don't know how to suggest books to people because I don't really have a very good.
If you like weeby books,
Yeah, I don't have.
Nightblade.
I don't have gauge on what's good and what's bad. I don't
Yeah.
really
Oh,
have.
yeah.
I don't really have a good like objective or subjective thing to give people. Like this is a good book. This
Yeah.
isn't a good book. Like, I
Don't
don't know
have
like
to compare.
until
I-
you've like.
I don't know like why is To Kill a Mockingbird like so good compared to something else.
Yeah,
So I don't know if it's a good book. I'm enjoying it.
I think that's the best way to do it until you kind of have
Yeah.
absorbed enough, read enough books to kind of have a
Yeah.
broader. Because I mean, you guys have both got over 1,000 entries on your Mal account. You can look and say, okay, this is bad stuff, and then there's good stuff. I'm still getting to that point with my 300 titles.
Yeah.
So like to an extent, I can say, okay, these are good things, these are bad things. But until you read enough and really
Yeah.
take in a whole lot, you can only say, I enjoyed this or I
Yeah.
didn't enjoy that. I can't tell you if it is
Yeah.
actually good because I have nothing to compare it to.
I guess I don't know how to gauge fiction comparatively because I've read a fair amount of history books surprisingly.
I will recommend though, dude, you gotta read or listen to Dune because
I'm
that
gonna
movie
get Dune.
is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so
They
excited.
showed the worm in the trailer.
Yeah, I know, right?
They showed the worm in the trailer.
I am so excited because just to go on quick tangent of Dune,
Yeah.
I have heard about Dune for a long time. I knew it was one of the
It's
grandfathers of
It is
fiction.
one of these. If you're getting into sci-fi, it is one of the sci-fi novel stories.
Exactly. So it's like one of the few movies I think might ever be comparable in scale to like the Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
The Lord
wow.
of the Rings is if you're not familiar with the Lord of the Rings, if you've never seen it, watch it. If you can watch the extended editions, watch them. It's the scale of the movie, the impact, the feeling it bestows upon you while watching is epic. That is the way. It's just that's the only way I can describe it. It just feels epic. The stakes are high. The
There it
characters
is on my
are
wish list. Number 1 on Amazon right now because of the announcement.
Dune is absolutely amazing. I'd heard things about it for so long. I knew there was an old movie from the 70s.
Yeah.
That I still haven't seen, but I want to watch.
There was a video game trailer put out on one of the Command and Conquer discs. I think Tiberian Sun.
Mm-hmm.
About a Dune game. Never got released.
Never got released.
Oh, never
no.
made. It was almost the same trailer as the movie too. Like it's just crap that happened.
Seriously?
They showed gameplay, and then at the end they had the worm come out.
Oh my gosh. So I was really interested, and then I heard about the new Dune movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not really a
New
reboot
Dune.
or a remake. It's just a new.
Dune.
It's just Dune. It's just a new telling, a new movie.
New Dune.
Featuring that story, and I was like, this is going to be amazing. And on top of that, it's being directed by Denis Villeneuve, who is the same guy who directed Blade Runner 2049. And whether you like Blade Runner 2049 or not, you cannot say that movie wasn't beautiful. That movie was so cool. Just all the cinematography, it was awesome just to look at. And I think he's going to do an amazing job with it. So I saw that and I was like, okay, I need to actually sit down and read, or in my case, listen to the audiobook.
Wow, just read.
Do readings for nerds.
That book is insane. The things that go on, the politics, you'll love that. There's so much politics.
I've been finding out I love politics, like fictionized politics.
Right.
Just something that's not related to our world. It's just random. What can the author think of that's so outlandish for this political system and how they interact with other people?
Right.
Yeah. And from what I understand, so the first book is the one that obviously everybody reads. That's Dune. And then all the others are like Children of Dune and stuff.
Yeah.
Those dive in even more heavily to politics and stuff. I haven't read any of those. Down the line, possibly. Especially if they keep making movies that are based off of them. I'm going to have to.
If I enjoy the first book enough, I'll probably just deep dive into them.
That story is so cool. The story is so cool. I'm so happy with the casting. I'm happy with the director. I'm happy that it's existing. That's all I want. I just want Dune to be good, and I want another series or even just a single movie that feels as epic in scale as Lord of the Rings, because I've never found anything that can compare to that yet.
I think Dune was what actually got the book I was talking about recommended to me, because I got on Amazon, because I have the Kindle app. I got on Amazon to look at the Dune book because it's like, hey, a movie got announced. Maybe I'll finally read the book that I've been putting off for like 10 years. And then Amazon suggested the Wii book to me, and here I am. So I can thank Dune for getting me to finally read.
Dune is like your what is it? Your space battleship Yamato kind of.
Yeah.
And then the Night Blade is your SAO kind of anime. Very separate but similar. Oh man, that's really cool.
Yeah, so that's what I've been into. Books, and got out of high school. Should still read books. Books are
I really do want to be someone who reads more. It's just I don't
have the time.
It's hard.
Don't have the time. Well, I watched some more of Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah,
How far are you now?
So right now we just got to the end of the battle tower.
Okay.
And that means
that we're like at episode 30-ish.
Okay. And it's 110 episodes?
140?
Oh, okay.
Idiot.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
What? You can't just tell me that and expect me to remember it every time.
So in
you hear it again and again and again.
In one of the last episodes, I think it's the episode before the last of the tower arc or whatever, and so there's a scene where Gon punches Hisoka in the face, and if you know why that's significant and stuff like that, it's one of the coolest things ever, because he's light. Oops.
Someone's on Discord.
Sorry, I forgot to mute that. And so light spoilers for Hunter x Hunter and stuff like that. Basically there's the Hunter exams, right? Yeah. They have these. They're playing this game where they have these badges and stuff like that, and basically they get another number of someone else's badge, because everyone's badge has a number on it.
Yes.
So it's like, hey, you get this person and you have your badge. That's 6 points. If you have those by the end of the time limit, you make it to the next round. You make it to the next area, right? And so that every other one that doesn't have the one that you're looking for, and so that is only worth 1 point. So you gotta get a total of 6 points and make it to the end, and so that. So Gon gets his. He steals his from Hisoka because Hisoka is the one that he needs, and so that. He steals it, and then that is okay.
Yeah, you're gonna need to like just mute your speakers real quick.
Yeah.
So.
Because they're going in.
So yeah, he gets it and stuff, and then he's like running away, and then another guy who's after Gon, he steals his and stuff like that, and he kind of he makes his way, he gets away, and then Hisoka comes by and he kills that guy, and then he gives Gon his badge back, and so and then Gon's like, no, I don't want it, and he throws it back at him, and then Hisoka picks him up and he just like punches him, and he shoots him like 50 feet away and stuff like that, and he like rolls across the ground and stuff like that. He's like, when you can hit me like that, I'll take it back. And so and that happens in the tower arc. We're going, he eventually, like, you know, they're fighting. He can barely get a hit in, this guy, and so
just to be clear, you've watched Hunter x Hunter before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're rewatching now with your dad.
And it is, oh man, it's just as good as I remember. So it's Hunter x Hunter is really good.
I liked Hunter x Hunter, but it's not something I'd ever rewatch. Unfortunately,
dude. I mean, you might want to.
I'm not
saying to rewatch it, but you'd probably think different if you actually started rewatching it. Because when you actually watch it like a second time, you're remembering the stuff, and you're remembering like.
I mean, I feel like that with a lot of shows, because that happened with me with like Toradora.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff I didn't notice at first. My first time through, and my second time through, I'm like, oh, it makes sense now. Yeah. But I mean. I got too much stuff to rewatch. I'm doing other things.
And Hunter x Hunter's way too long to rewatch it. So but I mean, I'm watching a little bit.
Hunter x Hunter is also one of those shows that I've never heard anybody say anything bad about.
Yeah, so it's like it's strangely good.
It's too long.
The bad part about it is that it goes on hiatus. You
said you haven't, and I just said something. You're welcome.
It goes on hiatus, and like there's no hope of it ever ending. And so and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get wrapped up by the end. A lot of stuff. Because the author is basically just creating a universe as he goes. Every time he builds a new arc, he builds a new kind of fighting system. Sometimes they're playing like, you know, like a beat 'em up, not a beat 'em up, like a kung fu match or whatever. It's like, you know, you fight each other, winner makes it to the end and stuff like that. And then the next thing, they're in like a mafia arc and stuff like that. So it's like, all right, now there's these like people trying to kill people. The next arc after that, they're in like a card game arc. What in the world? The next arc after that, they're in a video game.
Man, this is some JoJo stuff.
Yeah, but it's crazy. But see, that's what he keeps introducing new stuff. So I was explaining to my dad the battle arena arc is where they introduce Nen.
How are they gonna have power creep if they just keep changing the game?
right. They introduce Nen in the tower arc, which is basically like introducing stands.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's. I had to explain to him like he's trying to make sure that all the characters use this from now on because it's kind of like a standard thing that they have to use and stuff like that. It's the new battle system.
Okay.
So interesting. So he's like. It's showing like other perspectives of different characters and they're learning how to use Nen, but it's not focusing on them and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's that. And then
stop touching my phone, dude.
Quit leaving it in range of my hand.
Yeah, man, that's your fault.
Eric, behave.
I'm trying.
We're on the air.
We're live.
We're live from BakaTaka headquarters.
What's the Bill O'Reilly? F it, we'll do it live.
But yeah,
I'm glad you're enjoying Hunter. I'm glad your dad's enjoying it.
Oh man,
it's cool. It seems right up his alley because he really enjoys My Hero Academia, right?
Yeah. But oh my goodness, this is a lot more fun. It's so violent. And so
I've heard that.
It gets pretty violent. It gets pretty dark.
I never realized how violent it was, and then you were just explaining the kinds of things that happen. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I thought it was more cartoony.
Yeah. I mean, they all seem like that, but shonens do get pretty violent.
They can.
Yeah, but I mean, this one's like Fairy Tail is not dark by
any
means. Because no one dies. In fact, they gain lives by the end of the show and stuff like that because people who die come back to life.
Yeah.
By the end of it, and no one else dies. But Hunter x Hunter, like people are just dying left and right.
Good.
Yeah.
Another thing, this isn't an anime, it was a game.
Yep.
I was playing. I was looking. I found a YouTube video and it was recommending the new game by Kotaro Uchikoshi and the Danganronpa creator. So Kotaro Uchikoshi is the guy who makes the Zero Escape games and the Somnium Files. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Really awesome, dude.
I like that.
Right. So I was like, oh man,
Still need to
what
play
is
Zero
this?
Time Dilemma.
Yeah, right.
Need to finish that.
So I was like, what is this? So I looked it up. It's it's not permanent. It's coming out to like other things and stuff like that. But right now it's an what is it?
Beta.
An Apple Arcade exclusive.
Oh.
And I was
So
like,
it is beta.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I was like, well, I got this iPad over here, and you can sign up for a free account, like a free trial or whatever.
Oh,
and so,
yeah.
so I did that and I played it. The reason I'm not playing it anymore is because I found out that the game that's on there is only 70% of the actual game.
Oh, gross.
And so I'm just like,
so it's
okay.
the beta.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad I got what I got. I'm gonna wait till it comes out on Switch and I'll play it on Switch. And so
Is it planned to come to Switch later?
according to what I heard, yeah, it's planned to come on.
Okay.
On Switch.
What kind of game is it? Is it more
So you're
999-ish?
You're playing it, and it's basically like it's using the touchscreen controls and stuff like that. So you're basically moving left and right and stuff like that, and doing things and stuff like that. And it's
like Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, it's like a side scroller kind of thing. Yeah, and so you're playing it, and you're getting
Like the old Phantasy Star games?
no,
like 10% of Nier Automata.
no. It's similar to the Danganronpa controls because, like I mentioned,
I haven't played Danganronpa.
Yeah, that's the one where you're just going through a dungeon, right? And you
yeah,
turn.
that one looks
that's
like.
old Phantasy Star.
But see, no. So there's a point where you're like in the second game.
Sounds like Etrian Odyssey.
There's a
Yeah.
point in the second
Yeah.
game where you go and you can travel to different areas, and it's basically like a side scrolling, and basically the map just rotates in a circle and stuff like that. So I'm playing it. I'm gonna spoil this, okay? Just for like a little bit and stuff like that.
Spoil away.
You're playing
He's
it.
probably the only one who cares.
Yeah. So
It's true.
You're
Go
not
ahead.
you're not.
It's gonna be a while till I play it
Yeah.
anyways. And honestly, I'm having so much trouble following what this is. So is it like Nier Automata? Or
So
not?
what it is there's a bunch of kids. There's a bunch of kids on a school bus.
Oh man, I hate children.
Yeah, and I was like, little busters.
I was trying to think of that.
A meteor goes off in the distance,
Oh,
and an
busters.
explosion happens. The bus goes. Boom, all the kids start
Busters?
floating. Yeah, and then it cuts, and then so that's actually not the start of the game. The start of the game is in like some like astral chain like world and stuff like that. They all come in and they're like, "We're here to stop you" and stuff, and to like this like bad energy thing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then like a trapdoor opens underneath them all, and they all die or whatever and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, silly. This like this is only one of the possible endings that you could possibly get and stuff like that. And then it cuts to the bus scene, and then it cuts back, and so they all have these wristbands on them, and they can inject poison and stuff like that if they. Like,
yeah,
they
of
don't
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
The classic Zero Escape scenario and stuff. So they all wake up in like a Rapture like kind of theme park. It's like an underwater theme park or whatever and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they all have the wristbands on, and they're like, "Hey, here's how it works. In an hour, this place is gonna get flooded, and the only what's it called? You basically have to be the last one standing, and you'll get a key at the end." And the key, like, lets you escape and stuff like that. So, basically, all their watches have like a task, someone else's task to do.
Oh.
And stuff. So yeah. So basically, you have to figure out who has yours on it, see what it is, and then do the task and stuff like that. But some of the tasks require other people to do them. So it's like, so what happens? So they're all just kids, right?
Yeah.
And it starts going super Danganronpa and stuff like that. They all start trying to kill each other pretty much. And stuff like that. They're trying to complete their task so that they can escape and stuff like that. So
I'm interested.
One of them dies. A crane thing pulls up and it puts them inside this robot, and it basically demonstrated like what happens when they go in the robot, because it puts something in the robot and then it like spat out goop afterwards.
Oh, cool.
So it's like, yeah, that's what happens to you when you go in. So he grabs one of them because there's this one kid.
Did he do his task?
Well, no, it was.
Oh.
It was what is it? He's not supposed to show what his task is to anyone until a certain amount of time. But the girl who had his tasks knew what his task was, so she showed him, or she's like, "I'll show you mine if you show me yours," and they show him each other. So he gets captured, puts in the robot and stuff like that, and then you're going through, and basically one person dies.
It's not too much
or-
now, man.
No. Listen. One person gets capped. One person fails their task or whatever. They like can't do it because someone else dies and they have to do it with someone else. So they get grabbed.
Oh,
And then in the
dang.
process,
Okay.
another person gets grabbed and stuff like that. Like at the same time, you're just like, man, people are biting the bullet like left and right. And in my head, like I'm thinking of the style, and I'm like, okay, so this is gonna be like one of those kind of things where it's like after an hour, everything's gonna reset and you're gonna have to try a different path or whatever.
Mhm.
And stuff like that, with the prior knowledge of knowing what people's tasks are and stuff like that. Get to the end.
No.
You guys make what's it called? You get the key and you can make it. You can go like you can leave, or you can go to the machine and just open it. The machine that captured all the people, and you go in, you open it, and everyone's fine. No one's dead, and they're just like, "Wow, you did it! You saved us. Sorry, we kind of tried to betray you back there." So they all make it outside. And they realize they're not in like Tokyo or whatever. They came from Tokyo or whatever, and they're like on the opposite end of Japan or whatever. And now the game is like you fight aliens and you travel to Tokyo.
Man, what the hell?
Man, that was too much spoilers. I knew I should have told him to stop.
Man,
You ruined it.
That's cool and all, but you know what else is coming to Switch?
Super Mario 3D All Stars.
No.
Oh,
That's
that's
already
actually
out.
already out.
The new Monster Hunter was announced.
I saw that.
The
Well,
new
there's
Monster
two
Hunter? Yeah.
Monster Hunter things. There's Monster Hunter Stories and Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate 3D HD Ultimate.
They're bringing
something
Tri
or
back
other.
again.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, I hate Tri.
But it's whatever stories or whatever the new
It
one
looks
is.
so anime.
It's very they've gone with an Eastern style for this one.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I don't care about Monster Hunter.
man,
personally.
shut up.
It's just not my style of game.
Man, shut up.
It's-
What'd you do?
What did I do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
I haven't watched anything recently.
Look
I
at
played-
this guy.
I played that. I played the heck out of some Nier Automata. I platted that game. I fought every boss. I beat up the CEO of Square Enix and the CEO of Platinum Games. I watched videos to understand the story.
Everybody's
I
nuts.
looked at all the things I had to look at. I read all the things I had to read.
Is it
I
the president or is
love
he
that
the
story.
lead director?
I think you're just director.
But
I don't think he's CEO. or anything
Because
like
it's
that.
been so long since we've actually talked about anime, I do have things I've seen that we haven't talked about, just not from this week or the past week.
Hey!
We talked about God of High School this week.
We did talk about God of High School. God of High School,
And Hunter x Hunter.
it's really good. I like that. I'm not watching Hunter x Hunter. I don't plan to.
Wow.
So, honestly, there's not a lot to say about most of these shows. Most of them have just kind of held up, stayed where they are.
This is the seasonal shows.
Nothing's really done any better per se. So I'll just run through the ones that are pretty much on par with what they've been, and I'm hoping either get better at the end or just keep doing what they're doing. Up Iron Man, Fire Force. Fire Force Season 2 so far is pretty cool. I don't know what they're going to kind of do in this second half, but I feel like they've kind of they've kind of reached the end of what they were doing. They kind of went out to the wasteland, did the temple thing out there.
Okay.
So now they're kind of coming back. Rent a Girlfriend. I don't know where this is going. I don't know if I care where this is going, but it's one of those things where it's like you watch and it's just kind of uncomfortable. Like you feel bad for this character and like the situations he's put himself in.
Yeah, because it's like, man, all these bad things are happening to you because you're a terrible person.
Yeah, he's actually an awful person.
Yeah, and like I finished the third episode and I was like, I don't want to watch this. I dropped it right after.
He's not like just an awful person. Like I wish he was actually just an awful person, because even then I would be like, okay, he's just a horrible person. But he's like actually just an idiot too.
Yeah.
Like he's an awful person because he's so dumb and I can't even.
Man, you're triggered.
I can't even understand how like
I like the good trigger.
You're triggered.
his decisions make no sense. Like any person in even like a semblance of their right mind would just be like, oh, this person is like straight up trying to manipulate me. I'm just not gonna be into them anymore. I'm just gonna get over it. But it's like, no. Oh, she smiled. Ah, I'm in love with her again. And I'm like, dude, shut up. Put some different pants on because your stupid striped high waters are awful.
Hold the phone. These are college students too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's
they're
he's
past.
so
they're past,
dumb.
They're past the high school. Like is she flirting?
And
with
then-
me? What? Huh?
And then all the time, all the freaking time, it just comes back. He's like, I can't help it. My family never thinks I'm gonna get a girlfriend. I have to look good for grandma. And I'm just like, dude.
So it's like they try to throw
What?
in comedy to get the story back on track, but it's not good.
It's so bad.
Man, I
It's
believe it.
so bad.
Was the
But
name
it's-
like Rent a Girlfriend?
No,
The synopsis.
to be
of
fair,
it?
at the same time, it is awful. But the show itself is not. It's not like a 2 or a 3 bad.
Right,
it's,
right.
It's like it's like a 5, possibly push into 6 if you take into account they're trying to do this. They're trying to make you feel as uncomfortable as he is, and they're trying to make you decide: do I actually hate this main character, or like, can I empathize with the stuff?
So I think, but there are other shows that do that better.
Oh, 100%.
Like the
That's
Pet
why
Girl,
this is like a 5.
like the Pet Girl Sakuraso.
Well,
Yeah.
I have that on my list, but I haven't watched it yet.
Like the main character's kind of a douchebag and an idiot,
is he?
but you can empathize and sympathize.
Or is it
with him.
she? I don't.
Well,
know
he
the character.
yeah, he's an idiot, but he's also it's because he's constantly failing and stuff.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have any motivation to try to get better because he keeps failing at everything he tries.
Yeah,
at.
but he
Mm.
is also kind of a douchebag.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But like you can do a douchebag character pretty well.
Well, that's good then, because maybe as soon as I finish Rent a Girlfriend, I can watch it done right.
Yeah. Pet Girl Sakura,
man.
so it's really good recommendation.
Hurts to watch, but I'm still watching, and I'm gonna finish it because I
I'm
think there's only
sorry.
one more episode, and it's next week. So I'm probably just gonna let it stack up and then finish the last 3.
Wow,
ReZero, it's still ReZero. Things are happening. I don't.
that's
know,
not a good thing to say.
I don't know where it's going exactly.
We didn't like.
I am
ending
so
ReZero.
bored with ReZero.
Really? I mean, that's fine.
I can't I feel like because everyone really likes the parts that I find that are seriously boring. Like I don't understand. Like I don't like any of the characters.
Okay.
I can't like they introduce new characters and they're supposed to be, I guess like some are supposed to be scary, some are supposed to be like, oh, you look at them and they're supposed to be powerful, or you look at them as they're supposed to be cool, or something like that. But I see them as like literally the opposite. I see them all as like just like anime looking characters that have no personality.
It's really that I would say is completely fair. That's one of the hardest things that this show has to overcome. It's because he does the reset on death thing.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get character growth
Yeah.
when literally only one character is actually changing.
I was going to say the only characters I remember from that show are the main 4: Ram, Emil, and Subaru.
Emilia. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
thinking-
yeah.
You were thinking
I was
Nier
thinking
Automata.
Nier.
Yes, the main 3 characters.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're the only ones I can remember.
Yeah.
I literally cannot remember for the life of me any of the side characters.
Beatrice?
She reads books.
Is that the cat?
No.
No, the girl in the library.
Yeah,
That's Puck. Puck
Yeah.
is the
Puck
is
the
the
cat.
cat.
The cat.
Yeah, there's
She's in the library.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
I only remember her because of the Isekai Quartet.
Yeah.
There's
I remember the
her name?
knight.
Pelt or something like that.
Is that the knight?
No, the blonde-haired girl.
Oh no, I think she doesn't show up in this one nearly as much. She might have been like the first episode.
Who's the knight?
The knight is
Isn't that Pell?
No, that's the
You're talking about green hair, Crush.
was he
Crush
green
Sama.
hair? I thought it was pink hair.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different character
No,
entirely.
he's purple hair.
Purple.
Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Did you say
yeah.
he?
Yeah, he.
Are we talking about Felix?
It's the
No, we're not talking about Felix. We're talking about the knight. The knight.
the
not-
top knight in the kingdom that kind of gives Subaru advice here and there.
Or does he have red hair? I can't even remember what color hair
See,
he has.
that's these characters.
Man, you're trying to name him. I'm not trying to name him.
I'm trying to remember.
I'm just sitting back and enjoying it.
I'm trying to remember anything about that show because I just remember.
That's fair.
I remember Rem's arc.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him like dying the first time to the witch in the forest.
Yeah. So
And the flying witch.
They also put a lot of emphasis on
This-
characters that don't matter. They're
This-
just
they
background
did.
characters.
this season is focusing. Well, so first of all, it's half the length, and it's focusing more on one actual like arc.
Yeah.
And
Which
it's
is what's her
focusing.
face, right? The witch agreed.
Yeah.
Vanessa. Not.
It's you said so many names that I'm blanking on her name.
Yeah, it's
Echidna.
Echidna. Yeah.
So it's kind of going over that, and it's helping explain a lot of the witch stuff and understanding who the witches are, where they came from, why things are happening. But even now, I've got 4 episodes left, and I'm still not sure what's going on.
What a great...
But hey,
it's
whatever.
It's ranked so highly.
Misfit of Demon King. Demon King Academy.
There we go. Let's talk about something.
I
good.
love it.
I remember
this show.
Yeah.
I love this show.
It's actually really enjoyable.
It is so much fun. It is nothing that it does not. It's nothing more or less than what you expect it to be. It's just an OP character just being OP and like
whatever.
It's all I want.
Whatever it laid out for like setting its universe.
Yeah,
it's sticking to it.
Yes, and that's all. That's all we ask for. It makes sense, you know.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of Deus Ex Machina stuff. He's just let me just reincarnate you at will, and I'm fine with it.
Let me just rewrite your spells.
Right? And oh man, I'm having a lot of fun with that. Other than that, the other 2 shows that I think are obviously worth mentioning: Sword Art Online, Alicization, War of Underworld, 2nd season. There is 1 episode left. It airs tomorrow, and I am so hyped.
Is that the end of Alicization?
I think it is. There's still more stuff to come, technically. I'm pretty sure. Is he still in a
coma?
No.
Okay.
We fixed that.
Okay.
We fixed that.
We fixed it.
Things play out in ways that I do not want to spoil because I know Chase plans on watching it eventually.
I do.
I hope that someday you will sit down and just watch Alicization. It is the best SAO has ever offered us.
Not gonna lie, it's really good.
It's actually really, really good.
I'm probably never going to get around to it.
That's fine. But Alicization, so good. The War of Underworld, like the way it's like wrapping up and the things that are going down are just so cool. And they've tied it into previous stuff that's happened pretty well. Like you see characters come back, even Ordinal Scale characters make an appearance.
What's her face? The AI?
Yeah, Yuna. Yeah, so even some characters from that make an appearance. So
we're getting everyone is back. Everyone is here.
Everyone. We're getting
assemble.
We're getting the band back together.
Everyone is here. Weep. Snake comes out of his box.
The actual like war going on, the stakes that the show is set up, and the emotional impact. If you care about the characters, I feel like this has done a really good job of making you care about the characters, and because of the stakes that it's set, it just feels grander than SAO has ever felt before. Because people will say the first half of the original anime, the first half of SAO when they're in...
You can just do the Ironcrad arc.
Yeah, the Ironcrad arc. I was just getting there, actually. I couldn't remember the name. I was talking around it. So the Ironcrad arc, people say that was the best a lot of the time because there were actual stakes.
Right.
This brings all that back. And then it makes it an actual coherent story. Except it's not an Ironcrad. It's in a totally different setting. But it's awesome. And I love it. And I can't wait to see how it ends. And I can't wait to see if we get more SAO after. I think there will be a little bit more, but I'm not sure how much.
You could always just read the novel.
Ew.
Dude, that's stupid.
Gross.
Reading's dumb.
Yeah,
shut up.
And then other than that, The Great Pretender. I think Netflix is supposed to drop the next core soon.
Oh.
According to Mel, it says this airs Sunday. So it might drop the last case or file or whatever they call it this Sunday, in which case I will be binging that because The Great Pretender is absolutely amazing.
And they also recently dropped the second core of Pokemon.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Journeys. Yeah, recently.
Yeah, recently.
But other than that, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
It's pretty sad.
That's basically
Hey, Great Pretender's really good. And Sword Art Online's really good. Everything else, yeah, it's kind of
Railgun's awesome.
And that's it.
We did it.
Black Clover.
Another one for the books.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised we've done this much in the past few weeks. We've branched and diverged all differently.
We've all kind of gone our different ways. You went to books, I went to video games.
I
you
went to Apple Arcade.
Apple Arcade. Never thought I'd hear that from Chase of all people.
Oh, I canceled it that night.
I went to Apple Arcade.
I played it till like midnight and then I canceled it
That's
afterwards
awesome.
because I was like, oh,
That's
this
awesome.
isn't the full game. Just uninstalled it.
That's fine. That's the best way to go about it.
Well, there you go. Thanks for joining us. That's been another episode of BakaTaka. I can't speak! I can't do it! BakaTaka! I was like,
BakaTaka.
I can't words.
Did we even say the episode number at
Dude,
any point?
We
I
don't
don't
say
know.
the episode number
Okay,
anymore.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was I don't know.
No,
BakaTaka.
Jeff was being Jeff and had to say the
BakaTaka
number.
episode done. As always, I've been George.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Chase.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment. We don't read them all.
Yeah.
Peace.
Later.
Bye.
Like Chase's head.
Chase's head is in purple.
Make a wish.
You deserve it.
Like slapping a baby's bald head.
Alright, done.
Yeah.
Beef.
What'd you get at Burger King?
High seafood lunch.
I mean, your meal, ding dong.
I don't remember, but I do remember it had a medium high seafood bunch.